and start talking some shit beforehand, and then figure out how to fade it in later.
Just give it, okay.
Mm-hmm. Like a cold open, but like very cold.
Super cold.
Frigid,
open.
like
Arctic.
cold feet that you left out from under the blanket. Fucking cold, you know? Alright, so this is Mark Shelton once again with the Wolfcat Podcast, Fire for Effect. Coming to you live with my boy Adam Meyer. Pronunciation correct? I don't want to say it incorrectly and look like an asshole. This is a buddy of mine from Virginia Tech Veterans, and I'll let him introduce himself further.
Yeah, I'm Adam Meyer. Mark and I were both up at Fort Drum together, 10th Mountain.
Surprisingly.
I was up at 2nd Brigade. Spent most of my time there. Now I'm at Tech, Vice President of the Vets at VT.
Yeah, and it's crazy because we didn't even meet at Drum. Like, we met here, back. Well, for me, it's back home. But for you, it's... Well, I mean, where are you from originally?
I'm from New York.
From New York,
yeah.
Okay. So you were used to that, and now you're down here. And we ran into each other, and then Wes, too.
Yeah.
Another friend of ours, he was Drum, and he was in the area. So that was crazy. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was wild. Like, when I saw his folder in the office when I was filing paperwork, I'm like, I know this dude. Flipped through, found his DD-214, which is probably not the right thing to do.
Probably not legal.
But he looked familiar, so.
I feel you. That's good stuff. So, yeah, with the vets over at Tech, which is really cool because that's just 15 minutes down the road from Radford, and that makes us pretty close comrades in the student vet life stuff. I've been working on trying to get a good network going with all the schools and start talking to more vets about whatever bullshit. I mean, outside of student veterans conferences and all that.
Yeah.
So I think it's really great to have you guys down the road, and I think we have some pretty good partnership stuff going on, which is great too. But outside of that, what you guys got any plans as Virginia Tech for vet stuff or any events?
Right now, we don't have anything planned. We're still trying to like figure out the right day to have our first like actual group meeting. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we usually have like a little get together on Fridays whenever we can, like during the semester. We'll probably like every second Friday of the month, something like that. We'll meet up like one of the bars in Blacksburg, just chill, shoot darts, shoot shit. And then we typically do at least one tailgate. We just had the last one Saturday.
Yup. I was at that one.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll probably do another tailgate. I don't know if it'll be like tailgate and then go to the game, or just tailgate and hang out, or might just have a party over at one of the guys' houses. But we typically try to do stuff like that, and then pretty much whatever, the office gives us, try to plan stuff.
Hell yeah. I know for a fact, you guys are the only tailgate I've ever been to. I've never been to a tailgate.
Like, college or ever?
Ever.
Ever.
Like, not even as a kid, I didn't even go to... I mean, like, literally sat around in the parking lot in high school for the high school game, but we didn't tailgate, So, having that experience is pretty cool, and I like that you guys hit us up to get us involved, which was great. Met some cool people. Met some of your vets. Definitely a diverse crowd. You guys have some Air Force people. We've got like one Air Force guy. But we're growing our numbers, which is really good. And yeah, looking forward to it, man. Student vets are like my new clique, my new community. I don't want to be specific, but I don't and I don't exclude people either. But it's just it's just easier. Yeah. Like as soon as you find out somebody's a vet, you can be like, "Oh, what's up, cocksucker?" Like the next day, and it's like, "Oh, what's up, man?" You can literally be best friends on the spot. So.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the good things about going to the service and then come back and going to school. Like like some freshman kid like out of high school and like now going to college and you don't know anybody except like your roommate in your dorm.
Yeah,
like you pretty much have like a common bond with anybody. Just gotta find them.
We stayed in dorms. They just weren't the same. They were a little.
Yeah, yeah.
They were a little different. Dude, they told me. So I was working Quest, right?
Yeah.
That little summer recruitment shit.
Yeah.
So I was working that, and they told us we don't call them dorms anymore because that's too militaristic. I was like,
that would be the barracks.
I've never called this thing the barracks. And then I started calling it that as soon as they were like, it's too militaristic. I was like, oh, okay, then this is the barracks. And I'm just going to call it that since you guys are saying the dorm is too militaristic. I guess barracks doesn't fall anywhere in there, so. But yeah, like it seems like everybody's so worried about sounding tough or sounding like they're not following the crowd kind of thing, you know?
Well, I think it's more about like trying to appeal to everybody.
Yeah.
Which not necessarily a bad thing, especially for a college, but there's definitely things that seem off when you're like, that's a dorm.
Yeah, it's
and it doesn't sound it doesn't sound like anything from the military.
no, it doesn't even sound aggressive.
I don't even call the cadet dorms on campus. I call them dorms. I don't call them barracks. If I hear any of those cadets say barracks, I like slap them in the face. Be like,
you don't know the barracks.
You have no idea what a barracks is actually like, and you never will if you actually go officer.
Dude, that's another crazy thing is like when you get out and you start going to school. If your school has a cadet program, it's everybody in the world thinks that they're interrelated. They think that cadets are related to the veterans on campus, and vice versa.
Great story about that.
Oh yeah.
So when we were trying to get tickets and stuff for the game on Saturday,
okay,
they called up the ticket office at athletics, and we were like, hey, like, is there anything you can do for the military appreciation game that you got going on, like for the veterans and stuff? And they were like, well, we already do a bunch of stuff with the cadets. We're like, we're not the cadets.
Yo,
we already served.
We did our time, dude. Come on.
It's like, this game you say is for us.
And you're giving it to the kids who haven't even done anything yet.
That's why I went on the Facebook page for the athletics department, and I was like, you guys need to change this to the cadet appreciation game, because all you do is just parade around cadets, and you don't give a shit about the military itself.
Yeah.
Except for when you order a flyby.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Unsat, man.
Yeah.
Unsat.
Yeah, Tech's got a bad record with that.
Well, the good thing is, like, from what I understand, you're the squeaky wheel, so that's good. They need a squeaky wheel.
I'm more the loud asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got to sometimes, man. You got to. And it works. Like, you've seen it firsthand. Sometimes it works.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they took away the vet zone for a while and then put us in a closet. I made a stink, and now we're in a good spot.
Oh, tell me how... So, you guys had the VA secretary visit.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. So
Friday, we had like a sit down, it was kind of like a town hall open forum kind of thing. Showed up. I was wearing like flip flops, shorts, and like a long sleeve shirt.
Hell yeah.
I saw a bunch of people dressed up. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all dressed up for? Like,
casual.
It's the VA secretary. Even if it was the president, I wouldn't dress up. I'm in college. I don't gotta wear a uniform anymore.
I can't afford to dress up. Quit being a dick.
So so he came in, gave a pretty long-winded like opening speech, which is to be expected, and then started taking questions. For most of the responses that he gave, they sounded right. He came in, like, his opening statements and stuff sounded pretty good, but the moment I asked my question, which I asked if we could get a VA clinic down here in the New River area to not only, take pressure off the VA up in Salem, but to help all the vets here that are in classes and school and stuff and can't make it all the way up there.
Or even the older guys, because there's tons of older guys that live up in this area.
There's guys that go to the Salem VA from North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's their closest one.
That's so wild.
It's ridiculous. And he pretty much just deflected over to the whole Mission Act thing, which, if I was given a second question, I would have said, well, no one knows anything about it, and the people up in the VA in Salem don't even know about it.
The Mission Act, is that the one where...
That's where veterans can go seek medical... I guess, like, go to secondary doctors,
preferred care kind of thing.
Yeah, like outside the VA system.
Right.
That's the whole like point of the Mission Act, which is not really a bad thing to a point, but at the same time, like, you can't really, if you need the VA care for stuff related to your disability rating, it can sometimes be hard.
Yeah.
I know, like, a lot of guys, like, they need to go to those doctors, and they need to, because they know what's going on already.
And it's also, I mean, it's a maze just to work with that kind of shit. Because you get to the VA and they're like, well, did you leave your paper trail? Well, nobody told me to leave a paper trail. How am I going to pull? Man, and it it kills a lot of time for people who are trying to get their benefits real early. You get guys who get out of service and they don't even go to the VA. They don't go once to even figure some shit out. And it's because the VA's got a bad rep for doing shit. And it's not the people in there. I in no way am talking about like the nurses and the doctors and shit like that. Most of them are just doing their jobs.
I mean, to a point. Like, yeah, most of the issues are in the upper echelons of the VA, but there's still some...
Oh, there's always going to be some.
There's always some issues, like wait times. Like, every time they say, like, oh, be at your appointment 30 minutes early, I'm like, nope, I'm going to show up exactly on time. Because I'll show up 30 minutes early, but that doesn't mean I get seen 30 minutes early.
Y'all can miss me with that shit. Yeah. I did that shit enough.
Yeah, like, I'll show up 10 minutes early at the most.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think there needs to be a lot more visibility on it. I think there needs to be a lot more education on the whole Mission Act thing because no one has any idea what's going on with it. And someone told me that it only applies to you in certain situations. Like, you need to be a certain disability rating. You need to live within a certain mileage of the VA, of your nearest VA, in order to get that stuff. Like, there's all kinds of things that, like, you can't get. So, it's, you know, it's a good sentiment, but I think they need to fix the VA itself first before they start doing stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. And it's funny too. The VA secretary for, I'm pretty sure, the last 2 years, definitely this year, but the last 2 years, has said he was going to be at Student Veterans NatCon, and both times just didn't show. So it's stuff like that really just has people.
Well, you know why he showed up to this one. Or he showed up to Tech. It's because his daughter goes to Tech.
So he has to.
Yeah,
he has to go.
So his daughter goes to Tech. Funny thing, though, in relation to my question to him and some other stuff, somebody asked a question about, like, getting the Vital program at Tech, which is we've been fighting for a while, and Tech just keeps dragging their feet. Someone brought that up, and he goes, oh, well, your school should be, you know, supporting you in that. And the whole room that was dead silent, everyone started laughing. Like, it was an audible laugh. And someone in the back said that this, like administrator at Tech got, like, red in the face. Like, a mix between anger and embarrassment.
Well, so, you gotta feel something.
Yeah.
You piece of shit. No, I can't say a piece of shit, but...
Yeah, I don't know the guy, so I can't speak on whether or not he is a piece of shit or not.
No, it turns out he was actually a literal piece of shit.
Yeah.
He just wore a mask to work every day.
Bono.
He was just Bono, the human turd. Yeah. No, yeah, it's good that you guys did get a chance to talk to him, though.
Yeah.
But... I mean, shit like that, it's murky water as is. Dudes are killing themselves in the parking lots of the VA.
Yep.
Was a story I read not too long ago. Some old dude had maggots in his leg.
There's one dude, didn't that one guy kill himself in the waiting room?
I think I heard about that one.
Yeah, there's a dude who killed himself in a waiting room at the VA. Like,
yeah.
That's the kind of stuff they need to fix. Like, don't give us the Mission Act first, fix the system, and then add all that stuff in. They just think that's going to freaking fix it automatically, but it really, I don't think it's going to help that much. Especially because he even said, like, even though they introduced the program, like, it's only like 20% utilized or some nonsense like that. It's like, well, then get rid of it.
Yeah, if it's not working.
Like, if no one's using it.
What the fuck? The one as of April 15th, there was 3 veterans killed themselves at the VA facility within, like, that 1 week period.
Yeah, it was rough.
That's so wild. Not, I mean, like, a lot of these are not.
And a lot of them were in the, like, places, like, in the states that, like, bump, like, veteran care.
Texas,
like Texas.
yeah.
Texas is one of those places. You always hear, like, oh, we care about our veterans. It's like, do you know?
What is it? So then what is it when it's put all together? What is it that's causing these guys to be like, well, fuck it. I guess I'm just going to start this gun. Like...
I mean, it's definitely a number of things, especially, like, talk about guys that are in, like, my buddy, like, everything was going good for him. He had, like, a thriving business. The only thing that really did it in for him was relationship issues and stuff. So, like, if that emotional component is messed up, it's going to mess everything up, too.
Yeah.
So I figure some of these guys that go to the VA, like, they're not in a good spot to begin with, and you compound it with issues at the VA, it's just it's a powder keg.
Yeah, and relationships too, to be honest. I went to the mental health summit at the Salem VA like week before last, and we were talking about all sorts of stuff. And one of the things is, like, when you come back here, learning about proper relationship skills, whether it's friends, loved ones, family, your wife, your girlfriend, whoever. Because, I mean, even I've realized, like, I just don't, between my past relationships and my past friendships, I just don't, some people we don't click. And some people, they like me at first, and then I feel like they get annoyed with, like, I feel like part of my service is annoying to people, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like, since that, for me, personally, that's my only experience outside of college now.
Yeah.
Like, college, I'm learning a lot, and, you know, I'm getting cultured and engaged and experienced. But before this, it was all Army. I was hoo. Even when I was in high school, it was like ROTC. I'm going into the military. It's just what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Then I get out. I don't know shit else. So literally, all I can offer in a discussion or in a debate is, like, my service and what I've done and how it affected me. That's it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that just, people get tired of hearing it. That's how I've been kind of picturing it myself.
I mean, in a college kind of setting, I can see how some people might not be, like, all about it, but at the same time, like, they're going on about their high school and college bullshit. I mean, people just get annoyed by other people's shit. Sure. It's just how it is. True. But I mean, I think that's a big issue too with, like, I always hear about, like, guys integrating back in and have so many people have, like, issues, like, integrating back in once they get out, and it's like, I don't have that issue. Yeah. But I wasn't a Kool-Aid drinker anyways, so, like, I always fit more in, like, civilian lifestyle anyways. That's but I think, like, when guys have that mentality of, like, oh, well, no one cares about, you know, my service, or no one cares what I have to say about my experiences, like, that'll definitely add to the problem. Yeah.
And it's not even, and we shouldn't want people to care about it, but
listen. You want people to listen.
Yeah, because you have some input that's outside the norm too. Yeah. Like, I love participating in class discussion. You know why? Nobody else fucking does, and the class gets real awkward because of it.
Yeah, a lot of times. Yep.
Professor starts talking, asks a question of the class, everybody stares at him like doe in the headlights.
Oh, I do.
I just want to yell out the wrong answer on purpose one day. I've done it before jokingly. Like, they'll be like, do you do this in a situation like this? Yeah, fuck yeah, you do whatever. Like, I just go off the rails on it, you know? And
I think that also is a big thing with, like, majors and stuff, because in my major, like, it's all math. So people asking questions, like, about a math problem. I'm like, fuck no, I'm not answering that. I'm not going to look at the asshole that gets that answer wrong. Become that dude in class. Everyone's got that dude in class that just gets everything wrong. Always looks like an idiot, asks the dumb questions, like, where did you get that from? It's like, yo, he just did the math on the board.
That's his name. What do you mean? Hey, who's that guy?
Yeah. It's just that kind of shit. And yeah. I mean, student veterans definitely have something to bring, but at the same time, like, a lot of student veterans need to chill the fuck out, because I hate that whole, like, oh, these fucking college kids. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you're a college kid now. Yeah. Even if you're fucking 40 years old, you're a college kid right now. Like,
I think we can all agree, though, that it still stands to talk shit on freshmen. Yeah. Right? Okay, as long as we're all on the same page. As long as we're all on the same page.
Absolutely.
Fuck freshmen.
It's the worst. Like, the fact that Tech had all those extra freshmen come in made driving in downtown the fucking worst. That's why I'm so glad I moved out of downtown. Like, couldn't do it.
You had a nice little spot, though.
Yeah, the new spot, or the old spot, was nice. It's just, like, no parking. Yeah. Tiny. I mean, it was
probably as big as thing, yeah. But you had a kitchen and a bathroom connected to the outside.
It was just a mess. The new place is nice, though.
I feel you. You know, one of the best parts about getting out and being, like, 22 and 25, it's like, you can drink. And these fools are like, hey, can you get me a Mad Dog?
Yeah.
Can you get me illegal drinks so I can get drunk?
I actually had these two girls in my physics class, like, 2 years ago, like ask me if I could pick up beer because they're like, "You're older, right?" I'm like,
You're older, right?
like, yeah,
What is it?
I'm 28.
No, I'm 15.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm 28. I'm like, could you get us beer? It's like, no. I'm not getting in trouble for you.
I'm gonna buy you guys a bunch of Yoo-hoos, and I'm gonna take you home to your mom.
Well, back when freaking before White Claw and all that other shit, they were still making hard seltzers, but it just didn't catch on.
Dude, hard ciders were not my thing.
Seltzers, not cider, seltzer.
Who's doing that?
They've been doing hard seltzers for a while.
Who?
Bunch of places like Zima. It's like that.
Oh yeah.
Like wine cooler type thing, malt beverage bullshit.
I swear these just took off because of the name. You just need like an aggressive name and a cool label. And
I think it was that, and like, the market was ripe. Because I mean, at the brewery, man, like, they're even talking about doing it.
Oh, starting up a seltzer?
We're talking about doing a hard
seltzer.
seltzer.
Hell yeah. So you work.
We're not going to.
We're shutting that down. You work in a brewery, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
That's its own experience. What is it like in the back, man? I've never even.
Well, I don't get. I just work the taps pretty much. Okay. About the only quote unquote brewing experience I have is on Sundays. I set up the Randall, which is a device where we take one of our beers and we filter it through like a separate ingredient. So like.
I saw that on History Channel the other day, which is crazy.
So, like, this last Sunday, we did our dry hop Pilsner through hops. So they put it through more hops.
Oh, wow.
Like, this next Sunday, we're taking our regular Pilsner, and we're doing it with lime and black cherries. Or strawberries, sorry.
I'll have to try that out.
Yeah, so I gotta put the stuff in a bag and throw it up in this like tube thing, and then it filters out into another like chamber where it starts to really coalesce, and then it filters out through the tap.
Hell yeah.
It's not bad. I mean, like, I took a brewing class at Tech, and that was fun, but it was more of like a bullshit like way to drink during class because the professor didn't give a shit.
You got elective points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But I'd already like filled up my electives, but I had it as like a minor for brewing science.
Ooh.
But now I'm in voc rehab, so I can't have a minor.
You can come back, or you can do it online.
Go back. Yeah, I guess I could. They do have like a program now for brewing and like brewery ownership type thing.
Dude, I feel like there's gonna become college classes for almost every job just to be better at the job. This because like
I mean there are pretty much.
You used to not need a degree for that stuff though, did you? Like
no, a lot of it was like kind of like a trade where
family like passed down and stuff.
Not even that. It was just like a vocational thing. Like dudes would just start working in the brewery and like, you know, sweeping up, cleaning and like, you know, grabbing stuff, and then, you know, you learn through the brewing process how to actually do everything. So then you start working on the kettles and all the barrels and stuff. Like it's just one of those things where like you learn just from doing it.
That's good though.
But pouring is easy as shit.
Pouring.
I just sit
That's
there,
the easy
pull
part.
the tap, fill the glass.
So do you get annoyed now when you watch other people pour beer?
No, not really.
Not really?
That doesn't. What annoys me, two things annoy me after working at the brewery. One, when people ask for like a billion tasters, they want to
try everything.
They want to get a taste of everything on the menu. That annoys the shit out of me. It's like, you can get a flight. I'll get you a flight card. Give you a flight.
Yeah. How about you try these 5?
The other thing is kind of a weird one because like I don't mind when people ask me about the beer. I don't mind when like they want me to explain the beer. Even some of the crazy questions aren't that bad. Like, oh, you know, what kind of hops do you use, and like where were these hops grown, or where'd you get the barrels for the barrel aged stuff, like that kind of shit. Like, I don't know the answer, but I don't mind those questions. It's when people come up and they're like, oh, I've never been here before. What do you like? It's like, dude, I'm gonna give you the most expensive thing on the menu if you're gonna ask me what I like. Oof. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm going to make sure that you tip
folks.
me. Yeah.
You heard it here, folks.
Do not ask me what is my favorite, because typically I like everything on our menu.
Nice.
There'll be stuff that like I'm not huge on, but I still like it. I'm just not going to like go out of my way to drink it.
I feel like Cullen and I asked you that when we came
you
to
did.
St.
You did.
We at least those like guys.
But like for you it makes sense. Like you're not a big like beer nut.
And
but
you know me, but you know me for that too. Though.
Yeah. But like Cullen, likes to talk shit and
like he knows his beers.
like he knows his beers. Yeah.
Calling you out, Cullen. You should be here to defend yourself. You.
He even tried to challenge me on Untapped. Like, we got this app, it's called Untapped, where shows like local breweries, a lot of like bars and restaurants, like what they actually have on tap. But for the breweries, it's perfect because it actually like gives you a description. You get like rankings for like, you know, other beers, your own beer. You can see what you rank the beer and what other people rank it. It's a pretty cool little system, and you get like badges and stuff.
Yo, who runs this app? Like,
they're I don't know the actual. I think it's just Untapped, like the company name, and they're based out of I think it's Wilmington, North Carolina. They're in the North Carolina.
That's a niche app, but it's so perfect. It's so perfect.
It's
for
huge
people.
now. A lot of those apps. I mean, there's a company that started it's a very similar app, and it's a lot older, and they started in New York City, and they just kind of showed like all the different, you know, bodegas and grocery stores and beer distributors, like what they had, you know, 4-pack wise, 6-pack wise, stuff like that. And then that just blew up, and now they're doing like beer deliveries and stuff. Like Grubhub will do it, but they also have it's called like Grizzly, where they deliver, you know, you can get fucking Mad Dog 40, or was it 40/40? Is that what it is? Mad Dog 40/40?
I think so, or 20/20.
20/20, some, yeah.
It might be in 2 sizes. I don't know.
Whatever nonsense, whatever
I don't drink
nonsense,
that
malt
shit
liquor
anymore.
drinks, Edward 40 hands bullshit.
Bro.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've done Edward 40 hands.
No.
I think it was like my first time in college before I joined.
Oh my gosh. Getting wrapped up, man. That's hilarious.
This is the dumbest shit.
Oh, man. Oh, talking about apps, man. Can you believe that an app like Weed Maps exists?
I don't even know what that is.
Dude, Weed Maps is like, okay, so I went to California, and it's different. Like, the rules are different over there.
Yeah.
I went to Weed Maps. I downloaded the app Weed Maps, and I looked. Or I think I went to the online thing. I need to get some more water. I'm getting fucking cotton mouth. But... dude, it shows you everywhere where somebody's selling weed, right? But I went to some sketchy place, man, let me tell you. And it's so crazy because Weed Maps is not something that's low-key. Like, Lil Dicky rapped about it in his song. So, yeah, like, I'm pretty sure it was Lil Dicky. I'd have to go back and listen, but I know
some obnoxious white rapper.
It hit the nail on the head.
Some obnoxious white rapper.
But yeah, so... it's crazy because the internet is getting so strong and so powerful, but at the same time, the government's trying to lock it down and make it theirs and be like tough with it.
Well, that's a very Trump Ajit Pai kind of thing.
Oh yeah, isn't it though? That Ajit Pai guy. As soon as I heard his name, I was like, and it's not even like a racist thing. It's more so just like, I don't like it because his name. So you never hear that name anywhere.
It's very
else.
sharp. It's a very sharp name.
Ajit Pai. I've never heard that.
Yeah,
Like,
it sounds very consonant heavy.
Yeah, it sounds so aggressive now. But I mean, and then like the trolling that ensued when he came to light, when everybody was like, "This is the guy that you need to worry about."
Yeah, those
this
like
is the guy that's going to fuck the
DDoS
internet
attacks and shit like that, shutting down the FCC's website, crashing all kinds of shit.
And then this dude was like making memes just so he could try to get people on his side. He was
you know, he has that like obnoxiously large Reese's cup mug. Yeah, what? he goes to all his like press conferences with this gigantic like novelty mug. It's like, oh, I have the biggest mug.
Okay, cool.
It's like, we get it, dude. You're real cool.
Ajit Pai's like, this is my mug. I need to look this up now. I didn't even know this fool just rolled up to.
Oh yeah, well, if you watch like Last Week Tonight, John Oliver goes on about it all the time.
Oh, that's wild. Ajit fucking Pai, dude. That's just such. It's AJIT. Yeah.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, mug.
Yeah.
Oh,
there you
that's
go.
The first. Wow.
Yep. See.
Jesus, dude.
Okay. He even like.
Okay.
They did a like joke battle. Like he could just kept pulling out a bigger one because like, you can see that one with John Oliver.
Yeah.
Where he's like, John Oliver had a big one or one bigger than his, and then he just kept like piling it on. Like he kept doing bigger and bigger ones, and it was just like ridiculous. And I don't think he understood that, like, Oliver was making fun of him. And he thought it was, like, an actual fight. Because, that dude's never been in a fight. You know what he used to do before that?
Fisticuffs.
He was a lawyer for Verizon.
That's a new one.
He used to make Verizon money. And everyone wonders why people are upset. He's trying to fuck over the internet.
Making that Verizon money. He knows. He's on to us.
Yep.
Agit fucking pie, man. Like, that's just the name of a movement right there. Agit pie. You don't even need to call it anything. It doesn't need to be Article 15. Like, what is it that Britain's doing?
Oh, for Brexit?
Yeah. Well, no. Hold on.
Article 15.
I think it's...
Yeah, I thought it was like a Brexit thing. Yeah, like there's some article for the EU.
The General Data Protection Regulation?
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, so I think that's the one where they're like cutting memes.
Yeah.
They're telling you can't have memes, you can't have dankies. You can't have the dankest of the dankness.
You gotta have those memes, man.
Dude, memes really do motivate people. You know what they're motivating me to do right now? I'm gonna go get this pitcher of water, and then I'm gonna be right back. So,
what am I just talking here by myself?
Yourself.
I want to talk to
Jerk
myself.
off on the microphone, okay?
I'll try not to. I'll save it for the mattress. Definitely gonna fart right on his pillow. Fart all over his pillow.
What'd you do? What'd you say?
You'll find out when you edit it.
Oh boy, joke's on you. I don't even edit these things.
No production value.
No production
no
value.
production value.
Hey, taxpayers, I need you guys to start helping me out. Invest in a small veteran-owned bullshittery.
Find a dude who's doing like production. Yo, Cullen's got his people that. What does that do? Tristan.
Tristan.
The one that works the like Radford radio.
Oh, we went to the Radford radio guy, but his I don't know. It's a good operation. It moves smooth.
Yeah.
It moves clean.
But it just doesn't fit what you're looking for.
Yeah, I don't need to reach out to the campus, if I'm being honest. Yeah. The campus should already know who we are, or at least have an idea that we have a presence, because we're trying to make ourselves visible. But
well, that's the thing, man.
But, like, talking on the radio, man, like, I just didn't feel like we got anywhere. I didn't know if anybody even heard us. It's the same thing with the podcasts. I got to come back every now and then and be like, okay, those are decent views. Like, I'm perfectly happy with what I got. I think it's great that I'm getting any views. Some people got, like, 0 views, 2 views, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to have, a little bit of myself out there for people to see. I think it's really fun. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it, but
see, man, that's where the college kid integration thing comes in.
Yeah.
Like
I've been talking to a bunch of college, like just kids that are in college with me. Kids from Quest so far. Two of my homies from Quest. I'm not gonna call them kids. They're men, but sometimes I call them kids.
They're all kids. Yeah.
Sometimes I call them kids.
But like, no, it's good to get them involved because they know how to like, It's like back in the 90s when kids were doing like zines. You read my zine, man? Like shit like that. Like,
you read my zine.
But that shit, like, it blew up because people were just getting word of mouth out there and like posting flyers and all kinds of shit. You just gotta go up into the buildings and like every time you see those cork boards, just throw one up there. Even if you don't have like permission, just fucking throw it up there.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I think what I wanna do is I wanna try to get like more kind of stuff like this going like on our campus. Like maybe we'll start a podcast.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
If you want to merge them.
Absolutely. We can make I'd be cool at making like a Southwest Virginia student vet podcast of some kind.
Yeah.
And then we could all work together on it and then start getting the other schools from farther out to come in and talk. And before too long we just have like a student veteran Virginia podcast or something. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. Something like that I think would be good. But the problem is too is you got to think about like who's the next man up.
Yeah.
Because the problem, like at Tech, like we had with the veterans group is before me and Lauren took over, and Lauren was the vice president last year, and I was just trying to be like shadow governor, like not being a part of it, but still like making the presence known.
Right.
Like all of the like leadership didn't want to do shit, and I get it. Like dudes in college, you gotta focus on school.
Yeah.
Some dudes got parents or not parents, kids and wives and husbands and shit like that. So it's like, it's hard, especially when you're in engineering at Tech. I do not miss being in engineering. I'm so glad I changed majors.
I feel that.
But
yeah, you gotta prepare the people. You gotta have somebody to take your place.
yeah,
You gotta be ready to give that spot up because, and not only that, but you gotta make sure you're recruiting people so you can get that kind of energy. It doesn't come every time. Like, sometimes you'll have leadership that's like, I think I'm not gonna do that today.
Yeah.
Or I think I'm cool on just chilling today. And sometimes that's okay, but it's when you've said that you're gonna do something, you got to do it.
Yeah.
So I have a problem with people who will say something and then nothing. I get nothing out of it, kind of thing. And I feel bad because honestly, you got to cut that kind of stuff out. Or I keep inviting people to some stuff.
Yeah.
But like when I'm consistently like, I'm not gonna say ignored, but like it feels like a lie.
Yeah.
Some people will just be like, yeah, well, my bad, dog.
Yeah. Well, welcome to our world.
Shit kills me.
Because here's the thing: people will never come. People will come to our. So we do that bash at the beginning of the semester.
Yeah.
Over at PK's. People come to that. People come to the tailgates when there's free tickets and free food.
You're not wrong.
People will come to our career events where like we have businesses come in trying to recruit people and shit, but they bring free food.
Mm-hmm.
When we have like our actual like group meetings,
Nobody.
But the only way that actually helped us was where we started introducing or started bringing in more dependents. Like you got to do it. Yeah. Like it may. I definitely had that idea. Like I still hate dependents. Like I fucking like hate dealing with dependents.
Really?
Like on bases and stuff. It's the worst. Okay. But then like it left like a sour taste in my mouth. And now I think of like all dependents as they all just suck and they're all like just sucking off the system.
Got some biases.
Yeah, but I mean, working with Lauren, she's not too bad, and like having some more of the dependents that we have in the office and at work and in the group, it's pretty good. And it definitely gets us more people, more visibility.
Yeah, here soon we're gonna I need to do a constitution change. A lot of people are down to support me in it too, but I'm gonna vote to veto to have a dependent in an officer position because I think that's fair. Put it up to a vote because our constitution says no, it's just vets. Yeah. But we don't. I mean, we if we had a consistent number of vets coming in all the time, then I'd be cool with that. But I think 2 of us came in last semester, 2 or 3, and then everybody else like it was already there at Radford. But then like, dude, this last summer we picked up mad people. Yeah, I got as many people in that fucking MRC as I could. I did the whole quest thing to do it. So like it's all about the work you put into it at the end of the day too. So I can respect the dependents who put that work in. Yeah, because I've got one. Hannah is fucking phenomenal. Like she is down to clown for the MRC, and I like it.
Well, that's the thing too, is the dependents usually have more time, specifically if they're not in engineering with our school, but just in general, dependents typically have more time. They do their homework and then they just hang out. Like
that's true. They
don't have the same kind of shit that we do. Like we fucking make up excuses to like be busy. It's like, yo, I can't go. I gotta do this, but you're actually just sitting playing video games and shit, just trying to decompress.
You got to, man. The decompress is like, I remember when I first started going to school, man. I felt so overwhelmed. Like there was like so many things that had my attention outside of the fact that I was in a class. I was like, fuck, man, this is real. Like I'm going to school. I'm no longer in. Like I remember the good old days. Like already thinking about good old days, and it's but damn. It's worth it though. I feel good. Yeah. I feel real happy where I'm at. I'm pursuing something I like. You're pursuing something you like. Yeah. Correct. And that is sports analysis.
Yeah. So my major is computational modeling and data analytics, which is a mouthful.
Man, it got me wet for sure.
Yeah. They make sure to abbreviate it to CMDA.
Thank God.
And well, I mean, it's a pretty general major, and there are 2 like specialty paths that you can take in either economics or physics, but I want to do neither of those.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to work in the sports analytics side.
Nice.
Which actually Tech just started a sports analytics like student group.
Nice.
So it's pretty good.
So is it like a club or is it like a position?
It's like a club.
Okay.
Just gonna hang out, talk sports, talk stuff like that. Sports. So, yeah. Start to get like employers coming around too, because it's a big thing.
Oh yeah.
And like when I took that sports broadcasting class, It's actually the dude who used to do the play-by-play for Tech. He actually was teaching the class, and great dude. One of the best professors I ever had because he didn't give a shit about anything. Like, we almost never had homework, and all the tests were like crazy easy. Just like, I just want to teach you. I don't care about grading you. So that was legit. But but yeah, no, he gave me some insight to how ESPN works because he deals a lot of these. He still works for ESPN too. So he does. I think he does local stuff that's broadcast on ESPN every once in a while. Works with one of the big names up there, Mike Golick Jr. I'm kind of a sports radio nerd right now, and I listen to a lot of podcasts
with like sports stars.
Yeah,
or more guys talking about sports.
Well, the main one is the Le Batard Show, which is the least sports talk radio show.
Okay.
They talk about a lot of stuff. You probably see them in the news a few times. They tend to push the envelope with ESPN when it comes to like racial issues and stuff like that. When LeBron left Miami, Dan Le Batard bought like 5 billboards in Ohio, like in Cleveland, that said like, "You're welcome for the rings, LeBron." He got kicked off the air for like a week. Like like the radio show was still on, but he wasn't allowed to be on it. He had to take a sabbatical.
Dog, that's hilarious.
He does shit like that all the time. The show's hilarious.
How can you be mad about that?
Because it makes ESPN look bad.
Oh my gosh, why is it so...
Yeah.
I get so tired of that whole, you gotta look fucking perfect. Dude, don't take yourself so serious. Why do you take yourself so serious?
I hate that shit, like especially in sports where like baseball was losing a lot of people because the game was just old, and it's like, you can't be flashy, you can't do this, you can't do that. You had like Ricky Henderson, who was a beast, and he was a flashy asshole.
Right.
And like people at the top didn't like him, and those old timers didn't like him, but all the young kids were like, "Yo, this is great." Ken Griffey Jr. Like, big reason why kids wear their hats backwards because Ken Griffey Jr. Yep.
Damn, dude.
Sort of
Give me some sports knowledge.
Yeah, I try, man. I'm always trying to be good with sports knowledge. I have to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. Wearing the hat backwards. Look at that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
that was
hot.
the thing, yeah.
That's hot.
I mean, originally, my understanding of the whole hat backwards thing did come from baseball to begin with. Like, even back in the day, like, catchers always had their hats on backwards because you have to wear the mask up front. But then, like, once sunglasses came along, dudes in the outfield, they'd wear the sunglasses and they'd have the hat backwards to keep their neck from getting red. Sunburn and stuff. But you still had the sunglasses so the sun wasn't in your eye.
Smart.
Yep. A lot of things like that, man.
All those little things, man. Yeah. That's important, though. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Are you a little spectrum-y? No, I'm just fucking with you.
Sometimes. Shit, I feel like it. I mean, I definitely hate talking to people sometimes.
Dude.
Which is weird as a bartender.
Yes. Well, it's not that weird, but it's definitely out of character.
Yeah.
You're not on Cheers, for sure.
I'm not Norm.
No. But, yeah, I mean... That's good info to have, though. Definitely. I keep up a little bit with UFC.
Yeah, like combat sports are always like... I didn't grow up watching them, so it wasn't something...
I only picked them up in high school, to be honest.
That's
That's when I started watching it.
I mean, like, I'd watch, like, boxing here and there. My old man would get it on HBO, and we'd watch... I watched the Mayweather De La Hoya fight, because I loved Oscar De La Hoya. But, like... I like watching Roy Jones Jr. box, too, but, like, that's about it. I wasn't really into the combat sports.
Hell yeah.
And I also never played it growing up, too. Like, I always played, like, baseball or football, stuff like that. So it kind of tied into what I liked.
You know, now that you say something, the only sport that I really got involved with outside of, like, rec baseball, because I did rec baseball when I was in middle school, but I also jumped on wrestling, so maybe that's why I'm into, like, UFC and stuff, is because I did a grappling sport, like... Okay, yeah, that makes... Put some shit together over here. We're cooking with Crisco.
Yeah, man, you do those combat sports, it'll definitely tie you in.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, too, because you can, like, when you watch these dudes fight, you look at their face, and they're not angry. They're not fighting out of passion most of the time. Sometimes they will be.
Yeah.
But the ones who've got, like, a chill banter between each other... They'll fight and they'll just be like, give that blank stare
Yeah.
and just be doing the shit with their hands
Yeah.
to try to like get out of a fucking hold.
Yeah.
For those of you not looking because this is audio only, I'm over here moving like I've got cerebral palsy to simulate what an MMA fighter looks like.
Just shaking your hands up on your chest.
Trying to get out of a hold.
Looking like the worst zombie ever.
The worst, yeah, right. Gee, I can't grab anything, coach. I can't.
Yeah, but what I like about UFC and boxing and all that stuff, I love those like loud, boisterous, flashy athletes. I love those.
Yeah.
Like Conor McGregor, like I love that he's an asshole. I love Jorge Mas. Like he's a fucking dick.
And what's great about that is like that you can do that.
Yeah.
You are the representative of yourself. You're not
Yeah.
representing anybody else except for maybe your coach.
Yeah.
And the UFC knows that too. They're like, oh,
Possibly
you're
like your
basically
hometown.
whoever you are. Yeah, you're whoever you are. You come here, you act
Yeah.
however you want. People are just gonna remember you for that.
Yep.
But the UFC has been like, hey, if you start acting too much of a fool, we gotta disown you. You gotta cut that shit. People are getting good deals outside of the UFC.
Yeah.
WWE wrestling.
Well, they have a good bit of back and forth. Isn't Brock
Yeah.
Lesnar going back?
Dude, if Brock Lesnar goes back, I'm gonna send Dana White an angry Instagram message. But dude retired talking about he had like liver cancer.
Yeah.
Homie, if you've got liver cancer, don't worry about coming back.
Well,
Like that shit.
yeah.
You're doing the WWE. You're doing fine. Trust me. You're making
Some Andrew Luck shit.
You're making fucking good money. You don't need to come to the UFC and actually fight people.
Yeah.
Do what Batista did and become an actor, for fuck's sake. Like,
Yeah, but that's so rare.
is
Because for
The
every
Rock?
Batista. Rock, you have a Hulk Hogan who is not a good actor.
who hits the fucking wall, man? Hits the wall hard. R.I.P. to Hulk Hogan. He's not dead, but for when he dies.
Yeah. What's his real name? Terry. It's like Terry something.
I
It's
can't
not
even
actually
take-
Hulk Hogan.
I can't even take you serious, brother. Oh, you know who's fucking... Everybody loved Macho Man Randy Savage, though.
Macho Man.
Snap into a Slam Jam.
Ric Flair.
Woo!
And there was another one too.
I didn't even watch wrestling like that. But
Yeah.
but like I just fuck with the people because of the charisma.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of the game.
And that's the funny thing too, is because like you have some of those dudes that have all that charisma, and then they go into acting and they just can't do
They
it
can't harness it.
because they can like improv, like just being a dick, but that's about it.
Right? They have their typecast.
Yeah, but then you got The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock can kind of do whatever. I think he was doing like action comedies and stuff, but he was the only one that could pull them off.
Well,
Because
he started.
anybody else doing them was just terrible. Jackie Chan can do action comedy.
Yes.
Vin Diesel cannot do action comedy.
No.
Vin Diesel was in that Babysitter movie, and it was so bad.
So bad.
So bad.
Well, The Rock also did that. He was the fucking Tooth Fairy movie, and that was bad.
It was bad, but I feel like everybody loved it because it was The Rock.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Well, The Rundown is still like one of my favorite movies.
Oh, The Rundown is tight. See,
That's
that
a
was a
good
good.
movie.
That was a good example.
Yeah,
The
that's a-
Rundown and what's the other one he does? Walk
Walk Hard or Walk
No.
Tall.
Yeah, I think it's Walking Tall.
Walking
or something
Tall,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
He's got that fucking 4x4 just cracking
Yeah.
dudes with it.
That was a good movie too.
It wasn't supposed to be a comedy, but I think some
It had
funny
comedic
dude was in there.
elements. Well,
Yeah.
John Knoxville was in it, so there's
Johnny
definitely gonna be-
Knoxville, of course.
There was gonna be some comedy.
There's some comedy in there.
He's a good action comedy guy.
Yeah, yeah. He never was in like a legit. Like, I'd love to have seen him in like a legitimate like action movie where he was
Where
just
it's pure
involved.
action. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like also the comedic relief, but he's just wild off the fucking frame. Because that's who he is. There's people like that, and I love that. Steve-O, Johnny Knoxville. Who else is just a wild... Bam Margera back in his day was a wild-ass dude.
What is? I heard Bam Margera was doing something like stupid. He
Crack?
Was, no, not that stupid. But he was on like some
Okay.
show. It was like a Dancing with the Stars or like a House Hunters type thing or some nonsense like that.
Dog, I hope he wasn't selling that castle house he had.
I think he still has it.
I was so jealous of that as a kid. That's so fucking
I remember
cool.
watching like CKY back when he was living in his parents' like tiny ass little house. Those videos, my best friend from back home, we watched all the CKY movies. We tried to do Jackass videos. They were like, "Don't do these videos at home." We were like, "We're doing that shit at
We're
home."
immediately gonna do that.
We were those guys, and like I was doing the dumbest shit as a kid, like with my buddies. Like we would. we would go. There was a main road in my hometown where it had a lot of traffic, so we'd be walking down to go to like. There's a little market near where I grew up.
Yeah.
And we would walk to it, and it's on this main road. They would like we'd throw like somebody to the ground and pretend to beat the shit out of them, and have cars like pull over and like try to chase us. They would all scatter, and then the kid that was getting beat up would bolt too.
Jeez.
We did the dumbest shit. And like,
I love it though. That's like,
yeah.
I mean, that there's a whole generation that's based off that dumb shit.
It was that whole jackass thing, man.
Hey,
like,
and I gotta be real with you. If you're gonna risk it for the biscuit, you gotta be prepared to take the consequences. Some of these motherfuckers out here getting jacked up for doing some stuff like that.
Yeah,
because some of them are taking it pretty far.
Yeah,
like Eric Andre, you know about him?
Yeah.
He's out here doing some wild stunts. I don't know how he gets away with some of them.
Well, that was the whole Sacha Baron Cohen thing where he was doing Borat and Bruno, Ali G, like
pushing the envelope.
I loved Ali G and Borat, but Bruno was bad.
Bruno, I didn't. I just couldn't enjoy it.
Did you see that new thing with Sacha Baron Cohen?
I heard about it.
I
heard
did not.
He almost exposed like a child pedophile ring or something.
Oh, that other one, the show, yeah, with like it was like an Alabama senator or some shit like that.
Oh my god.
No, but I mean that new show on Netflix that he's on, The Spy.
No.
So good. Serious role. Didn't think he was gonna be good in it. Fucking nailed it.
Serious role. Okay, yeah, I fuck with it.
It was legit.
I like a good serious role. I started watching Legion. Legion's pretty wild. Don't watch that if you're smoking.
The X-Men one.
Yeah. Don't watch that if you're smoking.
I mean,
that shit is wild. I could not keep up to save my life.
From the comics, from what I remember, well, I never really read X-Men that much. Like, I wasn't really into the X-Men comics, but like from what I remember, like the series is a pretty far deviation from like the actual story. Like, it has elements, but it's not like spot on, like exactly how it was in the comics.
Yeah. Because I did my research after I pulled it up.
Yeah.
And I mean, after I watched a few episodes on Hulu, I pulled up I did, a little bit of Wikipedia and found out, some backstory and stuff. And this dude's died like 2 or 3 times, and this other character's died 2 or 3 times. Sometimes you just can't keep up with the ridiculousness of some of the storylines. Like, how many times are we bringing people back?
Yeah. Well, that's the main thing with like comic book movies and stuff is like, I love when people complain. It's like, oh, this isn't right. Like, this isn't how it goes in the comics. It's like, well, it did in one like run.
Yeah.
But you didn't watch it, like, or you didn't read it, or like it wasn't something that you really particularly liked. Like, I love when people are like, oh, Captain Marvel is such a big deal. Like, when she was Miss Marvel, she was like kind of a big deal.
Yeah, she.
And then she became Captain Marvel when the original Captain Marvel, I think, died.
Yeah.
And like she was a dick. Like, they did the second run of Civil War, and, like, she fucking killed a bunch of dudes. She was, like, part of the reason why there was such a big deal.
Oh,
she sucks.
Man. She murdered some dudes.
She murdered some dudes. Like, a bunch of civilians or some shit like that.
Captain Marvel, can you bring it down?
Yeah.
We were just kind of duking it out. He started murdering people.
Yeah.
We were not ready.
But the new slate of Marvel stuff looks good.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm big excited. I mean, and it's crazy that they found the formula for it. They've found what people want to watch. Somehow it's comic books. We've reverted back to times when we were doing comic books, but now we're just turning them into movies.
Yeah, but, I mean, it kind of ebbs and flows, or it did before the MCU kicked off. Cause, like,
exactly.
Because you had, like, the Superman movies, like, the first 2, like, Christopher Reeve Superman movies were big deals, and then it just sucked after that. The first 2 Tim Burton Batman movies were good.
Yeah.
And then the Joel Schumacher one sucked. Dark Knight, that was a good series.
Christopher Nolan, yeah, he did have a good series.
I loved the first 2 Blade movies. I even kind of liked the shittiness and campiness of the third one.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know, I just hit its stride once, MCU hit.
Like I said, man, they found the formula. They just knew how to do it, because you look at all the stuff that was out before. I'm even talking, like, Marvel stuff that came out. The X-Men series, the Fantastic Four, like, all these people were just snagging rights, and Stan Lee, I guess, was just handing them out, and then Disney had to come scoop them all back in later on.
That was the craziest thing, and I was worried, too, because, like, Disney ruined... I mean, they didn't ruin Star Wars. They didn't ruin it, but they definitely like degraded the quality of it.
I can't say I'm a fan, but I do I enjoy the storyline a little bit because it's just continuity at this point. Like,
yeah,
I like to hear what's going on.
But like, I read a bunch of the books, like the Star Wars books as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, some of those were like my favorite stories, and like, they're like, oh yeah, all that canon, that's not canon anymore. It's like, fucking really? Like,
yeah,
I was excited.
I think they took this out of canon.
No, all the like cartoon stuff that was on like Cartoon Network and like Nickelodeon, that's all still good.
Do you remember this one? It was before the.
Was that the like 5-minute?
Yes.
Yeah, those were legit.
Those were hot, dude.
Well, you know who did those? The dude who did Samurai Jack.
That's my favorite cartoon character, dude. I'm getting him tatted at some point. I'm getting Samurai Jack tattooed on my body. You heard it here, folks.
I was just old enough where like I was kind of like getting out of that shit. But yeah, no, it was good stuff, and like I know a lot of.
It was the style.
I think it was more like it was good storytelling. Like that'll get me every time. Like I know there's people that don't like Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Rogue One. I thought it was a great story. I thought it was great acting.
It
was
broke
like
off
perfect.
from the Skywalker bullshit for once.
But not only that, but like it actually like rolled up the story perfectly. Like, and like people complain about the Han Solo movie. It's like, oh, we didn't need to know this stuff about his background. It's like, yeah, some people did. Yeah. Like, just don't go watch it then.
I just don't know if I was a fan after I watched it. I was kind of I don't know.
I
think I need to rewatch it again.
I thought it was a good movie if you take it as just a movie.
Okay.
Once you start, it's like watching military movies. Like once you start nitpicking a little shit, you're gonna find a problem everywhere.
Yeah. Oh God, that's so true. Fuck, that's so true. Yeah. I hate if I can't even enjoy. All right.
I saw
as soon as the scene comes up with some fucked up uniform, I damn near get autism. Yeah. I can't. I have to focus on it all the time. Like I cannot even pay attention to the movie anymore. And it's so annoying because I'm like, oh, this is probably a great movie. This movie's probably one of the best movies I'm going to see in my life. Dude walks around the corner with his collar popped up, Velcro together, patches just all over random places. And I'm like, all right, nope, I'm out, I'm gone.
See, that doesn't bother me so much.
I can't, dude. It's so, I don't know why.
No, it happens, man. I get it.
Ugh.
There was a show though. It was such a weird show because they hit so many good things at like little small details about being in the military that like you wouldn't know unless you were in. They were in a chow hole one time and they called fucking at ease when the sergeant major came in. I'm like, no one does that in any movie or show. Like that's just a tiny detail that like you don't see anywhere else. Yeah. But then they have a dude with his fucking collar popped up and the Velcro, like another dude with his sleeves rolled up, and you're like, yo, you were doing so well.
You almost had it.
But still, like I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It was called Enlisted. It was a good show. It only lasted the season, man.
Yeah, I remember it. I wanted it to, because I thought it had some potential, but I wasn't. Was I in? I don't think I was in.
Yeah, you were, because it was on when I was in. It was in like 2012, I think.
That's right when I went in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
What's our age difference?
I'm 30.
Okay, so 5 years.
5 years, but I joined at 20.
Yeah, I joined at 18.
Yeah.
Straight out of high school. Stupid motherfucker named Mark.
Shit, no, I did a year of community college, and once all my financial aid run out, I was like, I'm just gonna go join the army and have them pay for school.
I didn't even consider school, to be honest. I thought I was gonna be a 20 pump kind of guy, like all 20 years. I was gonna be involved.
I thought that shit too when I first enlisted. I was going through EOD school, and I was like, yo, I could do this my whole life. And then I failed out, and I'm like, fuck the army.
Wait, when did you go through EOD school?
So I enlisted in September of 09. No, August of 09. Mm-hmm. Yeah, August of 09. Did basic. Got to AIT around, like, Thanksgiving. And then I went to Eglin, which is the second half, or second part.
Yeah.
I went down there in like February of 2010.
Okay.
And then...
So you're probably the cycle before my buddy. I was just asking. Because most EOD guys will get transferred into the artillery if they don't get through EOD.
There's a bunch of them, yeah. The majority, though, went to like Intel stuff. Because the TS clearance.
That's true. That is true.
Or or like some kind of like commo job. A lot of dudes did that too.
Oh yeah.
We had one dude go fucking. He went SF because that was originally like slotted for his contract, and then something happened with his paperwork, and he and then he had to change over, so he went EOD, but he did fucking basic at Benning. So he did basic at Benning, and then like once they finished basic, everyone else was still doing like OSIT stuff, and he's like, peace.
Jeez, well, it was nice knowing you, bud.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And that was the thing too. I fucking hated when dudes were like, "Oh, where did you go to basic?" "Oh, I went to Fort Sill." "Oh, I went to Fort fucking wherever." And it's like, where did you go? It's like, I went to Jackson. "Ooh, relax." It's like, shut the fuck up. It's basic. It's all the same shit.
It's all the same shit.
Like, you think you're harder. It's like, go to Benning. Like, you didn't go to Benning. Like, you're not infantry. Shut the fuck up.
Jackson, everyone has its own fucking obstacle, all right? Jackson has that tropical ass swampy weather. Oklahoma, I fucking hated Fort Jackson. I just felt so clammy I hate the sweat.
Wait, you went to Jackson for basic?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the summer. Because I did the summer surge with like all the other high school kids.
Why didn't you go to... I figured you would have went to Sill.
I didn't go to Sill. No, I didn't go to Sill until AIT.
That's weird, because I thought...
Yeah, it was like me and like a bus full of other people.
They were probably filled up then.
To go to AIT.
Well, no, I mean for basic.
But, yeah, probably maybe.
Sill was probably filled up then.
Dude, I know when we got there, we had to wait like 4 days before the classes started, and then what else was going on? Like we were still, we had our little bit of freedom. You remember that, where you get that little bit of
once you get into AIT.
Here you go on now.
Well, that was the funny thing, and I was telling my girlfriend about this the other day. Like, once you get to AIT, like, you still have to like wear fucking some kind of uniform, either PTs or ACUs or something.
If not all day.
And you can't wear civilian clothes until you take that test to go to the next phase or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I never did that when I was at Redstone. But once I got to Eglin, they're like, "Yo, you're an adult. Fucking do your thing." Yo, we have our cars.
I'm weak.
We could do all kinds of shit. We didn't have to do fucking passes for the weekends. Unless you were going outside, like, the radius. Which, we went to fucking Tampa one time. We were like, yo, we're going to fucking Tampa for the weekend. It's in the radius.
Shit, all right.
So we just fucking drove down to Tampa. It was legit.
I hate it, man.
And then I went to when I went to Huachuca for the MI school and shit.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, you might have to do this thing again. And I was like, nope, here's my paperwork. I don't have to do that again. So I'm like wearing fucking civilian clothes everywhere, and everyone else, like all these kids that are like straight out of like basic and shit, like, what does he get to?
They're big mad.
I'm like, y'all should have put us with the fucking reclass dudes that like already had a job. They're like, no, because they already got qualified and they're MOS. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's so. I don't know. I get it, but at the same time, it was annoying because we wanted to go. You know, can we go over here and get some wings, man? Like, the meetup is right around the corner. Nope. Like the Chow Hall, and then you're going to get a chance to walk to the PX.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus.
Yeah, no,
I don't think... personal time.
I don't think any... Yeah, every base I went to for, like, training and stuff, they all had buses. Nice. Well, I mean, Eglin was an Air Force base, so it was fucking legit.
Oh, bro.
Air Force food.
Oh,
yo,
yeah.
You go to the dining hall, and you're like, I'll take a burger, and they're like, how do you want it cooked? And you're like, I have a choice in this matter?
I'm flattered.
It's not going to be burnt?
Yeah, it's not just going to be a fried meat patty?
You either get it super rare or super well done.
Yeah. Jeez. Dude, I had something. I lost it. Oh, Oklahoma. Fort Sill, they got those damn cattle trucks, man. Those things are real. It's like you just get into like a cattle trailer and they just drive you somewhere.
Like a 5-ton?
Yeah. No, not like you get into a trailer that's for cattle, like legit.
Get the fuck out of here.
And it's pulled by like a semi truck. No shit, bro.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's so wild. I swear to God. I've been in like the nicer one because there is a nicer version of it.
Version?
Yeah, It's like a bus terminal or like a car, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like the back of like the extended bus that has like the
but it's got a truck drive
shit
in the front. Yeah. But it's kind of got like a truck drive in the front, and it doesn't connect. It just drives.
Yeah.
So they pull up places with us. We get out. That's simple. But then there was the other one, and I saw it. I don't know if it had soldiers in it, but I'm pretty sure that shit is wild. I don't know.
Well, I still think it's wild around here when you see dudes sitting in the back of like someone's truck.
I don't trust anybody enough.
I'm like, why?
Yeah.
It's like, number one, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Not that anyone in Virginia gives a shit about the fucking rules of the road. I swear to God, in this state, the only requirement for a license is a fucking heartbeat.
2 feet.
Like, not even that. You don't have to know your left from your right. You don't have to understand anything. You just have to have a fucking one brain cell, and that's kind of pushing it.
Yeah. At least a sober brain cell. At least one sober.
Not even that. Shit. The fucking right outside Gucci Kroger, I always see people blowing through stop signs. It's like, yo, it's still a stop sign. Like, you still have to stop at it. Someone fucking honked at me when I was stopped at a yield sign getting on the 460 because there's fucking traffic coming. I'm like, I can't move in. It's a yield sign. I have to stop if there's no open lane.
No! Get out of the way!
Literally, like, Gabrielle's in the seat next to me, and I'm about to just get out of my car and start yelling at this dude.
I'm not gonna lie, though. I drive pretty aggressive, but I won't honk if it's like a yield or if it's like a right turn on red. I'll just wait. I'll just be like, all right, whatever. But I don't use my horn that often at all, actually. But people just get upset out here driving. Like, people think it's a challenge. People think it's a fucking game out here when you're driving. You'll try to pass somebody in the passing lane, and they'll accelerate not to let you over.
I know.
Shit like that.
That shit. And then they get over, and they drive super slow in the passing lane.
There's 2 lanes!
It's like, the right lane is for cruising. The left lane is for passing.
And then when there's 3 lanes, there's still people fucking around.
It's the word. And the tractor trailers don't help anything.
Dude, there's always some trouble with the tractor trailers on 81. 81 is a fucking nightmare.
It's funny. I was telling somebody how far of a drive it is to the brewery because it's up in Salem, and like, for me, I can do it in 29 minutes. Everyone else is like, that's like a 45-minute drive. I'm like, nah.
If you go straight to Roanoke, like downtown,
Roanoke, that's what I'm saying. Like,
45.
or if you go to the VA hospital, that's like a 40-minute drive because it adds some with the stops and everything. Yeah. But like straight to the brewery, I can get there in 29 minutes. And people are like, on 81? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, homie.
If I take,
there's like 4 exits for Roanoke and Salem along 81. Jeez.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, people love to complain about anything, especially a car ride.
Yep.
I mean, I kind of do too, though. At the end of the day, sometimes I just don't want to drive like that. Sometimes I'm like,
yeah.
How about no? Like,
and a big thing I told the secretary too was like, yo, like, we have to drive all the way up to Salem. Like, I know that's not a big issue for some people, but like when you got classes, and you have to tell your freaking professor like 2 days in a row, like, yeah, I got another appointment up at Salem, and they think you're lying, just trying to get out of shit, and it's like, no, like, I legit have to take out an hour of my day. Yeah. So that's like easy. Like, it's usually like 2 or 3 hours out of your day going up to the VA. Yeah. So that drive sucks.
He's not gonna listen, man. He's getting paid fine where he's at.
Yeah, I know.
He's doing a great job. He's getting all the pats on the back.
I know.
It's funny too, because Trump seems like he's always riding dick on his cabinet. Like, he's always trying to, like, because they're always getting fired. So like
they're either quitting or getting fired.
So like this dude's just really on ass.
He legit thinks that it's the fucking whatever that show was that he had.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was his.
We kept saying like you're fired. Like he thinks that's what the fucking presidency is like. It's like, nah, dude. Like, this looks really bad for America. Like, you keep firing all these dudes.
Yeah, I mean it. I think what I enjoy about the idea of politics is that if we want it to be for the people, it should be the people that are just chosen. Like, it should be a lottery. It should just be a lottery. Somebody gets chosen. If they don't do a good job, they're out of there real quick. But if they do a good job, they just keep doing a good job.
I think it was a good point made by a lot of people that like Trump is not a politician. Yeah. And like to a point that's good. And yes, like it should be a non-politician a lot of the times. But the problem with that is if you're getting your roof done, you want a roofer to do it. Yeah. You don't want a fucking mason to do your, like, you don't want them to do your roof. Like, yeah, maybe manual labor, but like it's a whole different skill set.
Right.
And like you should have someone, like, it should be like a scientist or like someone
educated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just some dude who got rich because his dad was rich.
Yeah.
Like,
or some dude whose dad was a president before him.
No,
so
that's another one.
Now it's like a fucking rite of passage.
I'm not a big fan of the whole generals becoming presidents either.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a whole different skill set between leading dudes in the military and leading, especially like when you're a general, because you lose perspective.
That makes sense.
On the lowest
so what about
level.
Would you vote for a sergeant major running for president?
Hell no, that's even worse. You want to talk about losing perspective?
Oh shit!
Sergeant majors are the fucking bane of the military. They don't do anything. They really don't do anything except yell at you.
That's true. That's very true. Well, damn, man. If you're gonna talk about sergeant majors like that, I gotta get out of here. No, but I gotta wrap this up. I know you got some cooking you gotta do.
Yeah.
I got some cooking I gotta do. I tell you what, it's been a pleasure having you on the Wolfcat podcast.
It's been great, man. It's been great.
I thought we had a very good discussion about a bunch of wild shit. No script was written. A very lackadaisical script over there, like 5 subjects, and we covered all of them. We had a good talk.
I mean, I'll definitely do some more.
You're down to do more?
Yeah.
I like that. Hopefully we can get Cullen involved so you guys can actually duke it out over the microphone about who's more beer
savvy.
Beer savvy.
Yeah.
So, we'll have you on again. It was a pleasure, brother. Thank you for tuning in to the Wolfcat podcast. Mark Shelton, as always. Breathe it in, folks. Breathe it in.